Absolutely Talks, empowering talent for global careers. Brought to you by Absolutely French, presented by Anne-Laure Budin.
Hello, everyone. My name is Anne-Laure Budin. I'm the founder of Absolutely French, and it's a pleasure to welcome you today. Today, we are going to talk with Anne-Laure Budin. She's the CEO of Matching You, and Matching You is a top executive recruitment agency, and she will tell you more about her company later. Just a little introduction first we are going to speak, about effective strategies for recruiting and onboarding senior executives. So 10 years ago, when I founded Absolutely French, 20% of expat spouses wanted to work. Today, it's 80%. So it's a huge change. And more and more now, expatriates, especially senior executives, are asking for this type of service for the spouse before leaving. So I've founded Absolutely French for that, to help integrate expat spouses in France. And through customized French language courses, immersive cultural experiences, and a network of like-minded individuals, Absolutely French ensures that expat spouses feel at home and connected here in France. But what is our goal at Absolutely French? It's helping companies like yours to attract and retain top talents with a service to develop dual career in expatriation. So now, just to introduce Anne-Laure, there is a new survey said that 12% of the salaries said that their onboarding was good. Only 12%. So it's why we are here today with Anne-Laure. So we are going to discover the secrets behind successful executive recruitment and onboarding. So Anne-Laure, could you please introduce your company and yourself, please?
Well, thank you very much, Armelle. Thank you. I'm absolutely delighted to be here today. So my name is Anne-Laure Budin, and I'm the president of Matching You. I've been a relocating partner myself. I lived in Sweden and in Russia. I always worked when I was in expatriation because I think that when you work in the host country, it's a good way to integrate and to better understand the culture of the host country. So I namely founded the first relocation company in Moscow. It was in 1996. It was post-Sovietic period. So now I have more than 20 years experience working with international HR, international talents. So I'm working with international mobility department, international talent management department, and I see dramatic changes. So today there is a war for talent. It's difficult, a shortage of talent, should I say. It's difficult to identify talents, international talents, and to retain the talents. And that's one of the reasons why I founded Matching You. So Matching You has two missions. The first mission is to recruit international candidates. So I have a pool of international talents, and as soon as I have requests, so I plus my candidates who are immediately available, people with strong international experience. So this is the first mission of Matching You, recruitment. The second mission of Matching You is to support international HR, business units, and all companies to integrate expats and relocating partners. So I'm not alone in this adventure because I have recently created an association of experts in order also to respond to all technical questions that my client might have, such as contract, tax, immigration, etc.
Thank you, Anne-Laure. Very interesting. I didn't know that you were that you were created the first relocation agency in Moscow.
I did, yeah.
Very good.
Yeah. Well, at that time, I didn't know. I mean, I had 2 associates.
Yeah.
And we just created this company because there was a real need in 1996. And so I had 2 associates, and we thought that we had invented a new concept. I mean, making a selection of housing and presenting the selection to international assignees. So we learned much after that the relocation was an American concept that started, I think, in 1978, something like that.
Okay, so you have a little story to tell us, I think.
Yes, Armel, I can tell you about a story, the request from one of our clients. It's a company in the automotive part supplier, and they were looking to expand their business in Scandinavia, and particularly in Sweden. So they were looking for a sales director capable of quickly establishing themselves in Sweden. So we looked in our talent network to identify the most suitable profiles. We quickly highlighted 2 candidates with solid experience of developing automotive components in Northern Europe, and who also knew about the industry. In parallel, we also did an executive search, and we also identified another candidate who didn't know about this automotive industry, but who had experience in Denmark. So we presented the 3 candidates. One of them, the one who had worked in Denmark, has been selected. The issue is that the relocating partner of this candidate was not really motivated to move to Sweden. So we included in the package spousal support, and we promised to the relocating partner to support her in Sweden in order to find a job in Sweden. So it has been a new opportunity for her, for the family, for the children also, who were registered in international schools in Stockholm. And so they moved recently, I think in August, to Stockholm for this new family challenge.
Very good. Very good opportunity for both of the couple, in fact. Yeah. Okay, so to just focus back on your subject, what are the current trends and challenges in executive recruitment now for you?
I see 3 main trends. First, the globalization has increased the needs for people agile in international environments. It means either former expats or people who has always worked in international environments. First trend. The second trend is that companies are looking for leaders with vision, able to make strategic decisions in uncertain environments. And the third trend is that the company are looking for solutions to handle everything from recruitment to integration of international assignees.
Yeah.
The challenges, I see 2 main challenges. The first one is artificial intelligence, of course. So this is also an opportunity, but a challenge, because don't forget that the human judgment is essential to make the perfect match. The second challenge is skill shortage and retention of talent. So in today's competitive job market, the company have to make competitive package and proper onboarding strategy in order to retain the talent.
Yeah, I completely agree with you. Difficult time for recruitment now, in fact. And why is effective onboarding crucial for senior executives?
Well, onboarding is essential because, it's the first impression that the assignee, that the candidate get from the company. And as we all know, the first impression is the one that remains. So a strong onboarding can significantly impact the success of the recruitment, as well as the leadership of the employee, especially in international environments.
Yeah, just to explain a little bit to the people who are listen to us. What do you mean when we say onboarding? What is inside?
Onboarding, traditional onboarding includes, for international assignees, it includes relocation, it includes intercultural training, spousal support for working and not working, language training as well, like you do, Armel. I love the way you do it. So this is traditional onboarding for international assignees. But some company goes much further and at no cost, I will say, just time. Some companies can include in their onboarding program, mentorship program, for example. Someone from the company who will accompany the international assignee in order to better understand the local culture and in order to succeed in the mission. So this is another part of the onboarding. It could be also key meetings with stakeholders. It could be connection with local network, professional or non-professional network. And some company I met also propose several days off for the international assignee in order to let him clear everything, all administrative tasks, because it takes time.
Yeah, and when they don't have a day, they do it during the work
Absolutely.
time. So it's the same, in fact. So it's better to have a specific timing for them. Yeah. It's good, very good idea.
Well, I've seen other trends or other practices that I thought that it was interesting to share with the audience. I saw a company who have organized a 5-day personalized onboarding program, including, for example, history of the company, locally, well, it was in China. So history of the company, the history also of the product locally, how these products are perceived by the local people, and then, sales strategy and team building, etc. But it was a 5-day, very structured onboarding program. Another practice that I thought it was interesting, it's an employee initiative that organize on a regular basis events for local people, especially for newcomers, of course. So they organize theater, concert. They can go outside in the countryside, and this is highly appreciated, especially from single people, because we are talking, Armel, about dual career issues. But for single people, integrating in a new country, it's also important. So it's interesting. Yeah.
Yes, very interesting. Thank you, Anne-Laure. What are the problems that can happen if international executives are not properly welcomed to the company?
Yes, it's a big issue. It's a big risk. I will tell you an example later. But without a good onboarding, executive can feel lost, disconnected, demotivated as well. It leads to misunderstanding, decreased performance, and sometimes early departure. So I recently had a testimonial from an expat. It was a young woman who moved to China with her husband and young daughter. And so she had been recruited by the head of the subsidiary in China. Very happy to be here. And when she arrived the first day, her boss, so the head of the subsidiary, was in business trip. So the boss was not here when she arrived, and the HR had recently changed and was not aware of the fact that this lady will come to start the new job. So she felt very frustrated, and she saw that it was a lack of respect as well, and she has considered moving back to her home country.
Yeah, it's funny because we had the same experience with my husband in India.
Wow.
Exactly. We arrived at the airport and nobody was there. Nobody was taking care of us. So it's the same feeling that nobody know you are coming. And so it's just new country. And it's more difficult when you move in a new country. Of course, if you move in France, then you know how it works and all of that. But yeah, it's a very important point, I think. Can you share you did it. Sorry. I think it's interesting because you were speaking about the expat with her husband in China. What is for the family consideration? Why it's important to consider the needs and concern of the executive spouse and family during the recruitment and onboarding process? So maybe before coming and then after.
Yes, it's an interesting question. I mean, of course, before the relocating partner was not considered at all in the decision nor in the success of the expatriation. Fortunately, this has changed, and now I think that most of the company, if not all of the company, are aware of the very important role of the relocating partner. So we say that happy relocating partner is happy expat, and a happy expat is a high-performing and committed leader. So the relocating partner has a key role in the success of expatriation. So when we organize international recruitments, we may ask questions about the motivation of the relocating partner to move in the host country.
Yeah, and when you know that 80% of expatriation failure is due to the non-integration of the spouse, I think this subject is very, very, very important now.
It is. Yeah.
And do you have some? Did you have some people who asked you about their spouse before coming? Do you have some stories to tell?
What do you mean? Sorry.
I mean, someone you find someone to recruit, but before starting his job or her job, she's asking to have something specific for his or her spouse.
Partner support, you mean?
Yes,
of course. It's part of the negotiation. I mean, it should not be part of the negotiation. I think that the company should propose systematically spousal support for working or non-working spouse, of course. I think that some of the relocating partner will absolutely want to work, and this is the case of 80% of the relocating partner. But some of them will just quit their job in the home country and take this opportunity of expatriation to do something completely different. Some of them will take care of the children or doing something different. They will take their time. But both working and non-working spouse have to be considered in the decision and the success of expatriation.
Yeah, and what we have seen in Absolutely French is that sometimes some spouse said before coming they don't want to work, but when they arrive, they learn the language, and then just 6 months later they said, "Okay, now I'm ready to work." So the decision is never completely how do you say correct? I don't know.
There's no rule.
Yeah, there's no rule. Exactly.
No, but I think it's a good point. It means that that's the reason why it's important for the company to follow up on the integration of the international assignee and the spouse. So it's something which is highly appreciated by the assignees to have a follow-up on a regular basis. You know, the HR just call from time to time the expat and say, "Hello, how are you? Is everything okay? How is your spouse? How are your children?" This is very important. I think most of the time, if the onboarding is okay, there's nothing to say. But if ever there is something even very little, it's important to know. And namely, as you said, Armelle, for those who decide to work after 6 months expatriation.
Yes. What do you think about the meeting the spouse? Do you think that companies should meet spouse before recruitment?
There's no rule, Armelle. I think that some companies do not want to have contact with the relocating partner, not at all. I think that most of the international company propose to the relocating partner to participate to the first meeting. I think this is important. However, other companies also may prefer to delegate to Matching You to speak with the relocating partner on their behalf.
Yeah, we see that also in Absolutely French. Some companies just give us the communication.
Absolutely,
yeah. Which is good to have a partner for that.
Yeah. I think sometimes it's good to externalize
Yes.
this type of conversation because we get some so private responses, questions. I mean, it's important.
Yeah. What trends do you foresee in the future of executive recruitment and onboarding?
Again, artificial intelligence is very important in the recruitment. However, the personal judgment still be key to the best match to recruit the best talent. Another trend is diversity. So international companies try to recruit expertise, of course, but expertise with different experiences and from different origin as well. So the team, we are working on the diversity of the team. And more onboarding services to support the leaders and their family to help them to succeed in the new environment.
Did you start using intelligence artificial in matching you?
I do from time to time, of course, and I think it's very useful, absolutely. But as you know, Armelle, I also have a pool of international talent. So, I mean, I when I have a recruitment need, I try to place the candidate that I have in my pool of talents. When I don't have the candidate, then yes, I do external recruitments.
So you can save time with intelligence artificial.
Absolutely.
But you still need useful. Human behind.
Yeah. Personally, I prefer also.
Okay. Is there anything else you would like to share about effective strategies for recruiting and onboarding senior executives?
Yes, I think that we talked about recruitment, we talked about onboarding, but do not forget the repatriation phase, which is key to retain also your talents. So the recruitment phase, onboarding and offboarding are also part of the employer brand, and Matching You is here to help.
Thank you, Anne-Laure. Very good to hand like this. So I would like to thank you all the person who were looking at this video with us. You can write your questions under the video, and then we will send it to Anne-Laure, and then we will answer you directly on YouTube under your question. So be free to ask. And I want to just present the next Absolutely Talks that will be in November 8th at 1 p.m. It will be a live LinkedIn with Andrew Jones. Andrew Jones is from Amazon. He will explain you how Amazon support dual career expat couples. So it will be also very interesting. Andrew is living in Luxembourg, so we will be through Zoom also. And just to end, we have a big event the 10th of October. So if you are recruiting international talents, we organize Absolutely Talented Career Fair. So it's the first career fair dedicated to expat spouses. It is in Paris, and you are free to join because companies can register for free. So it will be more than 100 expat spouses here. So already integrated in France, so you don't have to do the onboarding in France. So you will save time, and they are waiting for you. So and they are all very, very talented. Just to hand, I will say never forget that expat spouses are talented, and they need you as HR professional to support them. We'll say thank you to Anne-Laure for these very good tips that I'm sure will help your company to do better onboarding. So thank you, Anne-Laure. Thank you all the people who are watching us today. So it's like watching you and matching you and watching us. Very good. And next time it's on the 8th November at 1 p.m. live LinkedIn. Thank you.
Thank you, Armelle.
Absolutely Talks, empowering talent for global careers. Brought to you by Absolutely French.